Start in a seated position, just tucking our feet or our heels underneath the little wings of our pelvis here. Cocooning our feet, keeping our feet warm. Just close your eyes and begin with some breath practice, awareness. Breathing with our diaphragm, connection to this deep rhythm that sustains the body, relaxes our mind, and just brings us into connection with consciousness or energy. This experience of moving breath to unite with some bliss and deepening our practice with this meditation on the movement of our diaphragm. So as we inhale, the belly expands, the ribs softly float, and the spine lengthens. And as we exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, the heart kind of softens inside of our chest, and the body kind of loosens its grip. So there's the interplay of energy between expanding, opening, lengthening and deepening, and then softly releasing. And truly just allowing this breath practice to serve as the ultimate foundation for the experience of yoga. And as we work ourselves into a very beautiful healing and restorative sequence for kidney essence, this idea of breathing to massage our organs and especially to touch the kidneys. You might like to return to that imagery on the exhalation, like draw the exhalation out so much. Concentrate the energy there. Just give a little massage. And then when you inhale, imagine your kidneys kind of like a sponge, receiving that fresh breath, and just gently, again, massage out any tension through your abdominal organs, especially through our diaphragm, which isn't an organ, it's a muscle, but it's attached to so many of our organs. So it's really the main player that we can observe and focus our meditation on in the postures. So let's go ahead now and just do a little deep work on releasing our diaphragm. So to find our diaphragm muscle, you could locate your last floating rib here, and just below you have our intestines, but right up in this little spread of ribs, right underneath that bottom rib on either side, if you can get your fingers, almost like you're going to give your bottom rib a little hug, and then drop your chin to your chest and just scoop and round your spine into this little grip. And as we inhale, we can notice the contraction of the diaphragm, kind of pushing our fingers down and out. But as we breathe out, we can help our diaphragm relax. So work on that. Don't try to let your diaphragm push you all the way up, but it's okay to kind of ride that breath in. And then on the exhale, just gently guide your fingers up and behind your rib. Like straight up, like you're gonna slip your fingers and touch behind these ribs. You can also come into embryo here and find a nice little connection. I'm just spending some time massaging out our diaphragm. And just focus on a complete exhalation. You're breathing out all the way. And maybe sensing a little bit of connection with the bandhas there, especially Mula Bandha. A few more moments. And as we lift back up, you can always pause this video if you're really enjoying working with diaphragmatic release. You can spend more time. There's no rush. You can meet up whenever you're ready. We'll just now map the abdominal organs, and maybe just, rather than just thinking about the abdomen as like everything here below the sternum, let's just think about the abdomen as also the chest, just as the lungs are also influenced by this massage with the diaphragm. So imagine the liver on the right side. It's the largest organ. It's kind of shaped like a little bean, and it's narrower here, and then it fans out, kind of following the shape of the ribs. But the diaphragm, every time we exhale and the diaphragm relaxes completely, could also think about that like massaging the liver, like kneading out any tension or constriction that might be pulling from the liver into the diaphragm. And there's an acupressure point right on the front ribs in between. If you count, we have the bottom floating rib here, and then there's a space, a pocket, and then you can feel the next rib. And right above that second to last rib, this is liver 14, and you can press your fingers in here and feel how the diaphragm correlates with this space. It can lift and float and open these pockets between the ribs, the intercostals, and then the sensation of acupressure to touch the liver, like to go in and kind of touch through this fascia, touch the liver. It might be a little more tender on the right side. You can also draw some little circles. And then one more place where we can influence the connection of our diaphragm with all of the organs is through our pericardium. So the pericardium, if you imagine your heart sits here, and the pericardium is this little sac of fluid. It's a fluid-filled sac protecting the heart. And then there's like a little slip that's kind of holding the heart above the diaphragm. So the diaphragm acts as support for the lungs to expand, to fill with air, and then it's a vacuum effect, like sucking the air out. And in the same way, the heart is kind of like a little vortex here. So it's all to do with pressure, like negative pressure, and then we have the contraction and then release through the lungs and our heart. But the pericardium is separating the heart from the lower intestines and abdominal organs. So it's like a sling, and this connective tissue stretches through the arms into the center of each palm and then through the middle fingers. If you extend your palms out, we can meditate on the influence of our diaphragm on our heart. So when we inhale, we can reach more. We're going to feel the heart drop down. And then as we exhale, pull your shoulder blades down and imagine your heart kind of floating back up. So inhale. Stretch and spread the space as the heart drops down, the chest lifts. And then exhale to pull the shoulders down. You might notice some interesting release, some freedom maybe in the subscapularis or even just in the intercostals. You might become aware of any knotted tissue or stuck areas relating to the relationship between our shoulders and our heart. So you can go ahead and, if you do notice a trigger point or anything, you can spend a little time just orienting yourself. So the main idea when we really work with these meridian stretches and these activations is to try to think about the correction that we offer for our posture. And if we correct our posture, a lot of us are starting to sit like this, and we have this forward head and neck posture from, coexisting with technology. When we lift the space, so the sternum is lifting up, the shoulders situate in a better position over the ribs and over the pelvis so that the lungs have optimal leverage to inflate. So keep an eye on that in all of the postures. If you can close your eyes and just meditate. Can you imagine the stacking of bones and then kind of work your way out from there? Maybe reach a little more space through the fascia, the connective tissue, and then within that space, like imagine the fascia is like a net, and we're spreading the net out, and then we can do some really unique adjustments with our bones. So maybe some external rotation in the shoulders here. Breathing, if you noticed any trigger points left or right side, just try to breathe a little bit more space to try to seal in this readjustment of our posture. And then one more final point of focus is just through our face. So the cervical spine is really the part of our spine that's the most vulnerable to all these little tweaks that happen in our posture. So if you can ever just drop your awareness right into your third eye, the center of your forehead, and then imagine going back into the top of your spine. So imagine you're going to kind of like go back and then your spine up here. You can picture like a little stabilization in the center of your skull that's just kind of growing your crown up and dropping your chin parallel. So it's just a nice way to kind of float your skull on top of your shoulders. And then the tip of our tongue acts as a little reminder as well. So we're not clenching our jaw and we're not tightening anything up, because again, posture is to support breathing. And if there is any tightness or lack of integrity in that support, we can glue ourselves up in really sticky ways, and that's creating these trigger points that we might experience, the pain in the connective tissue, the stagnation that causes the pain. And then how do we fix that? Well, we can breathe in that exchange of discovering better breath, more oxygen in the tissues, better gas exchange in the blood, and then we can move the stagnation. And then obviously supporting ourselves in addition to our practice with cupping, massage, sauna, lymphatic release, all of that. But we can do so much just with awareness. Like the moment we notice that we're maybe not sitting with the best posture, or if we've been sitting for too long, like get up, walk around a little bit and find that freedom. All right, we'll come forward now into a little balasana, coming into child pose. And you can bring your knees to the edges of your mat, or as wide as you'd like to explore. Maybe a meditation on your liver meridian, the tops of your feet, between your big toes and your second toes, and then just kind of drop the hips back and rest your forehead down. And establishing a deeper breath rhythm. If your forehead ever needs the support of your hands or a block, so that you can drop your head and let it hang heavy here. Just try not to create additional tension in your jaw and your neck. And then we'll just discover some very deep, full, complete exhalations, drawing navel to spine, and maybe finding that little baby engagement of Mula Bandha there at the bottom of the exhalation. Lifting the pelvic floor. And working to refine the breath stream. Steady in, steady out. And just maintaining our meditation on diaphragm. Maybe trying to touch the kidneys, sense the heart. And then pulling up through a tabletop position, all fours, just really work your fingers. And then lifting up into your hands and knees, spreading your fingers wide and breathing and exploring our spine here, so we can inhale, dropping our belly, lifting our gaze up, and exhale to round our spine and maybe puff up a little bit through the back of our heart. And then any free-flowing movements here that you like. Maybe that's articulating the spine in some waves here. You can spin your fingers back. Work into a nice little wrist stretch there. Through all of the meridians, in the arms, in the hands, the fingers. And then downward dog. You can lift your heels up, maybe cracking the joints, trying to meditate now on the float and the lift of our pelvis through our breath here. And then as we breathe out, gravity, allowing our diaphragm to relax, we can go deeper. And we'll just spread our feet here, spread our toes and lengthen our back body. And pressing our chest back towards our legs, just feeling a beautiful length and spread happening through the backs of our calves and our hamstrings. And then we'll deepen that experience with Uttanasana now, just walking hands back to our feet. We can hang in our forward fold, bending our knees. You could reach around for our outer ankles, maybe some circles here on bladder 63. And you can slightly internally rotate your legs here too, if that feels nice. Maybe sway your balance front to back, exploring the stacking of your tailbone over your knees and your feet. And then as you're ready, inhale a nice Ardha Uttanasana. Find some more length in your legs. And press your tailbone back. And then bend your knees as you fold. Round your spine. We'll do a few more like this. You're welcome to press into liver 3 on the tops of your feet. Imagine pulling the energy up, long spine, engaging the knees, the quadriceps, and then fold. One more deep inhale. Exhale, letting everything go. Keep your chin tucked as you rise to stand. Inhale everything up, gaze up. And exhale, connect. hands, heart center. Closing our eyes for a moment to observe the stack and the energy. Again, inhale. Look up, reach up. Exhale to fold, bend your knees, round your spine. Inhale, walk forward. And exhale, drop your knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskara. Inhale, Cobra pose, back body engaged. And exhale, Downward Dog. Now you can keep your socks on if that helps warm your feet, but if you ever lose the grip or you want to go deeper, we'll start to build the heat from the inside out now with some deeper breaths and sun salutations. So we'll gaze forward, inhale, feet to hands, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, rise and lift, reach up, look up. Hands, heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Lengthen. And exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, Cobra. And exhale, Downward Dog. Deeper breaths each time. You can soften your gaze, direct your awareness within. Top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands connect. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Lift spine, look forward. And down to the mat. Cobra. And Downward Dog. Keep spreading the energy through your toes. Really open the feet, create space, lengthen the body. And let's do one more here. Top of the mat. Fold. Rise, reach up. Fold right away. Lengthen spine, look forward. And knees, chest, chin. Cobra. And downward. 3 breaths. Focusing on sensations in your body. Maybe go a little deeper. And we'll walk our hands to the back of our mat now. Connect with our feet. Bringing our toes together. Finding a little bit of space in between our heels. And we can squeeze the knees together as we sit down and back for Utkatasana. You can keep your hands in front of your heart if it helps you meditate on bringing the 2 sides of your body together, cultivating some fire, some heat in these inner arches. Or you can extend the arms out, lengthening lung meridian here, heart meridian. 3 breaths. and fold. Walk forward and knees, chest, chin. Cobra and downward. You may close your eyes here to refocus. Just concentrate on slowing the breath down. Observing each breath. We'll gaze forward, right foot forward, warrior one. So really connect with this idea of the feet like roots, and we're sinking our pelvis lower to explore that energy, dropping the energy down. And then like Utkatasana, the arms can stretch the lung tissue and lift the heart up. So it's like uniting opposites, the inhale to float and the exhale to strengthen. Warrior two. Palm press. Reverse. And then plant your left hand down. Vashisthasana. Side plank. You can always guide your left knee down. Maybe start to lift and expand through the shoulder, breathing into the right lung. Deepest breath. And to the mat. Flow. Downward dog. Maybe drawing your chin to your chest so you can watch your breath. Watch your diaphragm and connect with the rhythm. Left foot forward, warrior one. So just like Utkatasana, really reach the energy up through the shoulders and the wrists. Maybe start to bring the hands together overhead, lifting the heart. But right foot is strong. Legs are strong. Maybe sink deeper. Warrior two. Palm press through the heart. Reverse. Breathe. And right hand center. Vashisthasana. You can always drop your knee or work on bringing the bottom of your right foot to the floor. Maybe reach for your left knee. then flow. Downward, Adho Mukha. Moving our breath. And concentrating on the subtle energies. The small adjustments we can make to go deeper. Each breath in and all the way out. Right foot forward, warrior one. Now we set up a little Gomukhasana experience here, but you can always just work on bringing the palms together and starting to lift the gaze up. Otherwise, bring your right hand between your shoulders and your left elbow overhead. You can always do Ardha Gomukhasana by bringing your right hand to your left elbow and just kind of guide the left elbow right over the crown of your head. Send your head back into your upper arm and breathe all around your heart. Feel the space. You can keep your arms open to 2. And then release, palm press. We'll turn our right toes inwards now. Gaze up. Hands can also come to the back of your pelvis. Lift your heart up. And then fold. Coming down, reaching for your feet or your big toes. Keeping both legs strong, active. Lengthening the spine. We'll press up and rotate onto the bottom of our right heel now as we walk our hands inside of our right foot for lizard. Dropping forehead to the floor and then left hand plants. Again, Vashisthasana. Try the variations. Maybe reach back. Wild thing. Start to look towards your right hand. See your right fingers. And then flow to the mat. Downward dog. And just notice your breath after each part of the sequence. Left foot forward, warrior one. Can work on the heart stretch, the reach, and the activation palms together, or right elbow up. And just think about your hands clasped right behind your heart. They're clasping right behind our heart. And we're just lifting the breath into that space. Warrior 2. Palm press. Toes in. Little back bend. And fold. Maybe work your hairline to the mat now, or the crown of your head. If you want to come up, find a little inversion. Just keep your legs strong, pulling and rooting. Quadriceps lifting. Toes spreading apart. And then press up. Walking toward your left heel. Lizard to the mat. And right hand, our left knee is nice and close to reach for. If we want a variation of this expression, you can also reach for your foot, lengthening up, or left toes back behind you. And exhale. Downward dog. Now let's step our left foot forward. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Right arm reaches up and we'll twist. Trying to get the back of our right arm outside of our left leg. And then we can massage our liver. Just focusing on the exhale. And reaching energy through our heart, lengthening our side body. And so moving all of the fascia through the joints, left hip, knee, ankle, shoulder, and then even our jaw, soft and steady. Release. Warrior 2. And then left elbow or shoulder inside of left leg now. Extended side angle. Or Vishvamitrasana, coming underneath your left leg. And we'll meet up in lizard. Walking our right knee back, forehead or chest to the floor. Hugging our left knee in, squeezing the side body. Right hand centers, reach back, catch your right foot, roll into the pinky toe of your left foot and reach back, open your heart, kicking your foot back, lengthen your left pectoralis. And then downward dog, and we'll come into chaturanga now. So reach your heels up, bring your shoulders over your wrists, and then bend. Halfway down, press up into the tops of your feet and try to pull your shoulders down your back. Rolling over your feet into downward dog. And just a little more heat. A little more heat in the shoulders there. Right foot forward. Low lunge. Left arm up. And twist. We try to connect the back of your left shoulder so you can twist deeper. Keep pulling the belly in towards the spine. And lengthen side body. Breath by breath. You could always look down at your right foot if you need a break for your neck. See if you can catch a bind under your right leg. Keeping your gaze steady. Meditate. Concentrate on each breath. In and out. Warrior 2. A side angle. Remember the support for this pose is concentrated in our navel. So really feel the strength of the bandhas here. Like you're pressing the mat away under your right arm. And if you want to go deeper, Vishvamitrasana. Can lengthen everything out. You can also work on finding a bind here underneath your right leg. We'll meet up in lizard. Checking in with your jaw here. We check in with our jaw every time we work gallbladder pathway, the side body. No tension in the face or the neck. Maybe Drop your chin into your chest here and just watch your breath. Steady in, steady out. Let the diaphragm relax. And bring it back up. Reach back. Stretching the right shoulder now. The right arm meridians. Softening our pelvis down. Maybe take the head back. And then flow. Downward dog. Coming through chaturanga now. Into the tops of our feet. Liver 3. And downward dog. Feet to the edges of our mat. Step wider. And one more twist here. This time from a nice inversion. Right hand to our left ankle. Keep pressing. Left arm strong. The face, head, and neck soft. Releasing the jaw. Let's try to squeeze the liver out one more time. And change. And spread your right fingers out really wide too, really wide apart. To help with your foundation. Keep your hips level. So if that means stepping your feet up closer, or walking your hands back toward your toes so that your feet can ground, you can draw the energy up. Strong legs. And then Malasana, heels and toes out. Malasana, palm press here. Meditating on the inner yin, pathways, kidney, spleen, liver. If you want to go a little deeper in here now, maybe the feet become a little more parallel with one another. And then deciding where you'd like to go, if you want to stay here and just observe the heat, the warmth, the sensations of compression and connection with the head of our femur in the hip socket here, all of that muscle and tissue around there. You can hang out here. Maybe a little movement, you can sway from your toes to your heels. And then if you'd like a moment in your crow or your crane, you can lift up, balancing. And if you go into your crow or crane, find a moment to release your wrist. And we'll all meet up in a forward fold. And downward dog. Coming up to the top of our mat. Sense of press and connection into the hands like crow, and then come up, fold, rise and reach up, and heart center. Just connect with your Tadasana now. Feel your feet supporting your posture. Feel your breath. Nice and supported, nice, tall, open, spacious posture. And then we'll shift into our left leg, bringing our right knee in and up, squeezing the front of our shin, standing tall in the left leg. And concentrate on the kidney meridian now, lifting up. Maybe even feel that subtle engagement of Mula Bandha, pelvic floor. And then extend back, Virabhadrasana 3, into a high lunge. So strong lunge now. And pinkies together. Squeeze the back of your right leg. 3 breaths. Pyramid. Right foot steps up. Lengthen your spine, look forward. Lengthen your legs, and then round your spine, chin to chest, forehead to knee. You can go deeper, interlacing your fingers behind your right leg or overhead. Right thumb on top. You can look at your left big toe or continue to round. Forehead to knee, chin to chest. Steady breaths, pulling the energy up. Then Ardha Chandrasana, bending the left leg, stacking your knee, reaching down. You can catch the front of your right leg at your ankle. Just focus on the support of the standing leg from the sole of your foot all the way up. You can extend back. And land warrior 2. Reverse. And one more time, side plank, bottom of our right foot to the floor. And if you want to reach all the way back into your wheel, you can go there as well. A few deep breaths, lifting through the heart. See if you can come back through your other hand, your left hand, and flow. Downward. Rediscover your breath here. Smooth it out. top of the mat. A deeper fold. Maybe reach behind your legs or bring your feet together. We contract our front body, lengthen our spine, and reach up, look up, and Tadasana. Is feeling the stack in support of our bones. That's the foundational energy of the winter. This meditation on kidneys and heart. Move into our right leg now. Left knee in and up. So the kidney meridian is in the sole of our right foot, reaching up through Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. Bringing our gaze down and forward, Virabhadrasana 3. Let's try to extend back and long into crescent lunge. Palms together, pinky fingers together. Lift and open the heart. Back body strong for 3 breaths. Pyramid. As you step your left foot up and lengthen your spine, here's where you can steer your hips. Right hip back, left hip forward. Lengthen your legs, spread your toes, and then fold. Round your spine. And watch your breath. Can reach around for the back of your left leg, or bring your arms overhead. And moving into Ardha Chandrasana, you can bend your right knee, your leg, to reach your right hand for the floor. And then find your left foot. So we can feel this beautiful spread of energy through the kidney meridian now. From the sole of the right foot up to the collarbones. Keep your right leg strong. Imagine coming into a little back bend even here. Warrior 2. One more time. Vashisthasana. Or take it all the way back, full wheel, or maybe forearms to the mat, working on that sacred connection between kidneys and heart, moving the energy deeper. Try to come back with your opposite hand and flow. Downward dog. And then go ahead and drop into an embryo pose. Again here, tailbone back into our heels and then just round. Relaxing our diaphragm and front body. Deeper breaths. Really try to relax the throat here and the tongue. And we'll sit in between our heels now for Virasana. You can stay lifted in the seated expression of this pose, or you can walk back, all the way back. And just notice maybe one hand to heart, one hand to diaphragm. And come back into concentration on the exhale. Kneading everything out. And lots of visualization on liver 3 in this asana, from the tops of our feet up through our inner shins, our inner knees and thighs into our groin. Maybe picture the liver on the right side. Every exhalation, it is squeezing, releasing tension from the diaphragm. A few more breaths. And we can press up, downward dog. Bringing chin to chest, gazing to our navel. Watching the breath. Releasing any tension. Head can just dangle here, pressing heart back towards our legs, just going a little deeper in there and feeling that squeeze or that hug of the navel wall in towards the kidneys. And then we'll gaze forward, left foot forward, low lunge, and we'll work on a little more length in the quadriceps now, so coming back into awareness of the liver meridian as we bend our right leg and reach back for the inside of our right foot. We can stay here, gradually pulling our right heel in towards our glutes and hamstrings, and then try to face your hips and shoulders forward. And again, just focusing on the exhalation, feeling the release, the relaxation of this pathway. If you want to go deeper, you can bring your right toes into your right arm, your elbow crease, and maybe squeeze your right glutes and hamstrings. And go just a little deeper. And release, going back into the lunge. Take your gaze up. Bring your hands to your deep back muscles there, pressing your thumbs up and in towards your ribs. Imagine touching your kidneys there. Hanumanasana, half or full. We can lengthen our left leg long, extending out through the sole of our foot, kidney 1, or come all the way down. Maybe situate yourself more on your inner legs here, your groin, kidney and liver. Find a point of focus. Meditate. Keep your breath full and deep and steady. And just concentrating on the energies. You're welcome to explore any areas along this pose where you need a little more engagement to help release the fascia, go deeper. You can also play around with any other variations that you know. There's a really nice one for the liver if you turn towards your right leg and drop your left shoulder down inside of your left knee. You can bend your right leg and reach your right arm for kidney 1 maybe, just folding your left toes back. Try to go deeper, especially into your liver, your side ribs here. Maybe enjoy a few breaths there and then come back up. We'll shift into pigeon. So bending our left leg now, just drawing our left knee right above the hip. You can thread here, bringing your right arm underneath your body. If you'd like something a little more restorative. Otherwise, we could continue to work on variations with the quadriceps, mermaid. You can also work your right toes into your right armpit here, finding some acupressure in your heart, heart 1. Eventually, taking it all the way up. We'll meet up in Ardha Matsyendrasana. Right foot outside of our left knee. And plant your right hand as a base for your spine. Lift your left arm up and twist. Back of our left arm. It's a little counter to help us breathe into our solar plexus here. Continuing to relax the diaphragm. And gently stretching and spreading all of the connective tissue through the back of our neck and shoulder. Downward dog. And looking forward, right foot forward, low lunge. Feel free to really sink into it, soften into it, and then bend the left leg. See if you can find liver 3 in the top of your foot and just gently guide left hip forward, right shoulder down and back. Maybe squeezing left glutes and hamstrings here. You could sink deeper. Left toes inside of your left arm. So a lot of energy also working with the spleen in this pose. The spleen is kind of lifting the energy up through the front leg. So if you ever feel like you need more or you're a little wobbly, try bringing your right foot up a little higher. And then we can meet up, letting our left leg go, hands to support our lower back, our kidneys. Really lift, reach. Keep the back body strong. And Hanumanasana. Ardha Hanumanasana, just lengthen the right leg. You can keep the left knee bent and keep your sternum pointing forward. Spread your right toes, engage your right quadriceps. And then only if you're ready, you can start to drop down, going deeper. But maybe spend a little time on that inner yin, the soft connective tissue pathways of this kidney, spleen, and liver. From the big toe of the right foot all the way up to the inner groin and then back down the left leg. And after a few breaths, maybe go deeper and find any variations here. Maybe try the reaching expression. And always feeling welcome to pause the practice. Spend a little time with whatever it is that you're experiencing. You can always catch up. Keep moving your breath, moving the energy, and explore the pose. Meet up in pigeon and spinning and thread if you'd like. Maybe bind, finding your right big toe. Trying to maintain this idea of experiencing the postures from that place of centeredness and transcendent connection with something beyond, maybe some essential force that seeks to assist the body in finding that state of harmony. Sometimes it helps to activate the energy from the bandhas. Imagine Mula Bandha to lift the energy up through the front of the spine. Very subtle way to support back bends. You can always try that out, working back into King Pigeon. Matsyendrasana now. Try to make sure that you're level in your seat. Right arm up. And twist. Twisting to the left. Gathering that idea of energy, pulling in and around the solar plexus. And try to exhale more, breathe more, relax the diaphragm. What sensations Can you be aware of here? What do you notice? And release. And bend your knees in front of yourself now and just try to orient yourself more in the front of your sacrum rather than kind of rolling into the back. Find the front of your pelvis there. Cup around your heels, internal rotation, and then reach the legs up here. It's a nice little variation of Navasana. You might like to imagine pulling the energy up from the kidney meridian through the soles of our feet into the kidneys, through the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. And then we'll come forward into Kurmasana now. So you can send your hips even further back as you bring your shoulders inside of your knees. And then just one arm at a time, thread your upper arms underneath your hamstrings. And just continuing our meditation on kidneys bathing in each breath, drawing that energy back in and down. And concentrate so much there through Mula Bandha that the rest of your limbs just feel light and weightless. And keep working with pelvic floor engagement, Mula Bandha. You might also enjoy centering your chin and just gently pressing some energy up through the soles of your feet, and just spreading your toes. And then softly just extract yourself. From here we'll come into reverse plank or tabletop. Tabletop, you'll bring your feet hip width apart, otherwise reverse table, toes and heels together, meditating on the kidney channel and then lifting up. And feet together, Baddha Konasana now, around your spine, chin to chest. you're welcome to work into any acupressure here, massaging through kidney 1, maybe find kidney 2 and spleen 4 in the inner arches. And then right knee on top for Gomukhasana. So you can pinch your fingers into liver 3 here in the top of your feet, and then round your spine. If you like the acupressure there in liver 3, you can keep it, otherwise just release and bring some gentle pressure now with the upper body melting into the top leg. And as we lengthen and deepen through the side body, gallbladder connective tissue pathway, can you feel that subtle heating and activation of the inner yin? So the inner thighs, knees, even the groin, just gently melting to match the length and support of the side body. And then we'll send our left leg into Ardha Virasana and our right foot up into half lotus Ardha Padmasana and twist. Right peace fingers can find liver 3, a left hand to the right knee, and just gently twist the spine here. Bringing breath into the space that we've created around the heart and the shoulders. And switch. Left knee on top. Gomukhasana. The more parallel we have our shins with the top of our mat, the more intense this is. You can always send your feet out further or walk your heels in towards your hips. Just concentrating on each breath, each moment at a time here. Grounding the feet. Remember, you can stay here if you uncover something or you want to go a little deeper. Otherwise, we'll meet up right leg in Ardha Virasana, left leg in Ardha Padmasana, and we twist. You're really feeling the energy rising now through the central channel. Keeping that steadiness, that internal focus each breath. And we'll come into full lotus now, Padmasana. So bringing our right foot into our left hip and our left foot up here. And feel like you're squeezing your knees together to send your feet off the sides of your legs here. And then we'll reach around for the big toes. A couple breaths here. And then balance. See if you can go a little deeper, squeezing the knees together. And one more time. Fold. If you're still working on full lotus, you're welcome to do this in half lotus, or even just with your legs bent here, your feet flat to the floor. We're just going to gently release anything that might be holding in through the pelvis and the sacrum here. So from lotus, it's just a little activation, and then we inhale all the way up and hold. Activate the bandhas, chin to chest. And breathe normally. We'll do it twice more. Just a little lift. Inhale. Bandhas. Mahabandha. One more. And breathe normally. You can keep your lotus as we come back. Shoulder stand. Or you can release your feet in plow. Try to roll more of your balance into your shoulder blades and the backs of your arms, so you can always Have your arms extended, palms to the floor, pulling on the edges of your mat. Lengthening our spine here. A few more minutes to explore your inversion practice. Shoulder stand variations, plow, or even just a gentle supported lift for the tailbone. Massaging spine and vital organs. And then we could find our Yoga Nidrasana now. So we work feet together, chin to chest. And just like Kuramasana. Sense the bandhas. You can switch the cross of your ankles. You can always explore the final part of this practice from just a happy baby pose as well. Reaching the energy out and draw the tailbone down to the mat. Feeling that lift of Mula Bandha. And then we'll find one final twist here on our backs with Garudasana. Left leg on top, hips shift to the left, knees fall to the right. Reaching our left arm out here. You might enjoy a little massage for the back of your head and your neck here. Do you feel everything start to release? Bringing your spine centered again. Right leg on top, hips to the right, knees to the left. And extending right arm out. Really breathe and lift space into your liver on your right side. See how much you can relax your diaphragm. And final pose, Shavasana. If you'd like to find a little Supta Baddha Konasana in Shavasana, you can scoop up the fronts of your ankles here, a nice little way to keep your feet warm as well. Otherwise, go ahead and reach for your socks or a blanket or anything that you might like here, and just totally absorb in the sensations of rest. Focusing even more, going even deeper with your exhalation. Really try to picture your body, your breath, softening any tension that might exist. And then as your body starts to feel lighter, your breath starts to emanate out even more, even further out, as if the breath body or the pranic body could envelop you here on your mat. And just imbuing you with a flow like quality, the quality of water, as if you were bathed in a bead of water here on your mat. You can make your way back gently, slowly. And wherever you are, if you're staying a little longer in a final Shavasana, or if you're lifting up into a gentle seat, we'll just press our thumbs into the center of our heart. Concentrate the spirit of this practice, our intention, to inspire healing, and that this practice serves as a beacon of light and hope for the collective benefit of all beings, the collective awakening of all beings everywhere in all time. We'll inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om